There we go. Hey, everybody. I don't know how my microphone getting cut off. It happens. But I am here. I am here, streaming, live, Thursday night. Hello, Jennifer. Hello, John. Nice to see you two in chat already. Always early birds. I'm streaming on TikTok too tonight. We're going to try that again, see how that goes. TikTok's a weird world. It's a lot different than YouTube. So, let's see. Let me bring up my poll. I had a poll last night that I brought up. And how do I get to... Hold on a minute. Let me see if I can get logged on here. What's going on? All right. So let's look at this poll. How do I share this? Oh, Crossfire does work. So let's see. If I go to scene, there we go. And let's see if I can view. Let's zoom in a little bit. So I had a poll last night. I don't know how well you guys can read that, how well that's coming in. But live stream tomorrow night. What are we talking about? So here are the results of the poll. Honestly, I would talk about anything. I just thought it would be fun to post it, just to see about people's interactions. We had 39% people voted for bed bugs, 26% people voted for roaches, 26% voted for my wife Alicia and our new baby, which the baby is not born yet. The baby will be born soon, but is not born yet. Cryptocurrency and Dave Ramsey. And then we had some comments. Let's see what our comments are. We had a comment here for any ideas mentioned in the poll. Congratulations on the new baby. Open forum, including your list. So I'm not exactly sure what my list is, but these are some of the suggestions that were made in the poll last night. And like I said, if you follow me, let's see if I can get this thing back to the way it's supposed to be. 100%. There we go. And if you go to my channel, which is at youtube.com/greenacrespc, right here, you'll see that you can, now this is all logged in with my stuff, so, but actually let me log out, sign out. There we go. So let's try this again. There we go. So that way it looks more like what you would see if you hadn't subscribed. So what you do is you go here, you click subscribe, and you follow me on YouTube, and you can get these videos. And of course, if you're following me on TikTok, you get to see me whenever I go live, which is typically Thursday nights. I was actually thinking of doing a TikTok only live stream every now and then, maybe over a weekend, where I can just kind of sit and talk on TikTok and kind of hang out for a little while. But as of right now, we sit and we do most of our live stream chat through the live chat. I do have a I do have a phone call ability, which I've got a phone number which is on the screen right now on my YouTube channel, where people can call in. I do not have Skype up and running yet, which I'm getting ready to do that now. But I usually take a few minutes when I first start the live stream to kind of talk and chit chat with people that are around that have been watching me for a while and want to talk, and they're just coming into the room. So I don't start up my phone lines right away. And I usually give about maybe 10 or 15 minutes towards the end of the show where I turn the phone calls off so that I can catch up with what everybody's saying in chat, because it's just me. I don't have any admins. I don't have anybody to help me. So I'm doing the best I can. I guess Jennifer's a stand-in admin. So she's getting on people last weekend. She's like a pit bull. So anyway, let's see what we got going on here in Skype. Turn on the phone lines right now. So, hey buddy, glad I found your channel. Let's see. Carlos, it will work if used correctly. Yes, because they asked me if Crossfire didn't work. So for those of you that don't know that are new to the channel, I'm known a lot around YouTube for bed bugs. That's what people know me for. That's why in my community poll, it's like the number one thing, which I figured it would be the number one thing that people want to talk about was bed bugs. But I figured I'd talk about all of them, except maybe cryptocurrency and Dave Ramsey, because I don't know about much of either one of those, but I just put that up there as a joke. But I know Dave Ramsey likes to tell people not to buy coffee, and I buy coffee, but I actually make it at home. My son made me coffee because I haven't had, believe it or not, I've gone all day today without any coffee. See, he made me a flat white espresso. So, anyway, that's what he made me to drink tonight so I could try to stay up and talk to you people. But I have not had a coffee since I woke up this morning. When I was sick, I went like 8-9 days without really eating much of anything or drinking anything, got away from coffee, slept days for days. And so I told myself I was going to swear off coffee. I wasn't going to drink it. And here I am drinking it at 9 o'clock at night, probably wanting to go to sleep. But anyway, hope everybody's doing all right. I still have a cough, still have a little bit of chest congestion. How do you use it correctly? So Carlos, I've got videos. If you go to my channel and you scroll down, I've got tons of videos from how to mix it to how to use it. And it's actually the easiest thing to do is just click right in here. And you can click how to get rid of bed bugs. And then there's a video right here. So if you click this video, 4 easy steps, how to get rid of bed bugs, guaranteed 4 easy steps. So I put this up a year ago. And let me click share and copy the link. And then I will post it over here to you so you could see it. And that'll show you how to do what I do. And if you need more in-depth videos, I do have some where I've actually done work and filmed myself doing the bed bug work. And so you can go to those videos. You can actually watch me do the job, which I've posted in here hundreds of times. But I actually put up a video I wanted to talk about last Tuesday, which is when I put up all my videos, is a video called Walmart Spray for Bed Bugs, Can It Work? And this video is really, and I wanted to talk about it on my live because a lot of people that come in here, they're from places like Canada, New York, and other places in the world. And so I made a video specifically targeted to my audience where they're having issues buying Crossfire in the area of the world they live in, whether it's part of the United States, whether it's Canada, whether it's, wherever you live. And the chemicals in this video that I list are pretty much available worldwide. Then it's a very difficult way. I don't know if very many people in chat have actually watched the video yet, but it's basically, can you kill bed bugs with chemicals you buy from Walmart? Now, if you watch the video, I actually go over several pesticides that you can purchase from like do-it-your-own websites kind of thing. In fact, I think that's even the links I gave because it was kind of hard for me to find them on Amazon this time. So I actually linked to the do-it-yourself pest control website. And there's several chemicals listed there that you can buy over the counter. So if you go into farm stores like Tractor Supply, Southern States, I don't know if you have a Southern States like that wherever you live, but there's several. Oh, I just spilled my coffee. That's not very good because it went on my phone. Coffee on the phone. See, this is what I get for drinking coffee. Hey, Rory. Let me mute my camera for a minute so y'all don't hear me hollering. Oh, crisis averted. I got up my coffee. I think I got most of it up. Anyway. So anyway, paper towels. Oh yes. Yes. Spilled coffee is not a good thing, especially when you got it sitting on a mouse pad, sitting on top of your iPad. But thank goodness the mouse pad pretty much absorbed everything. My desk is just a mess right now. I got all kinds of stuff all over the place. But anyway, I'm not sure what I was talking about. I can't really remember what I was talking about. And now I think I've got my headset tangled up around my chair. There we go. So that way I can hear you if you decide to call, if anyone decides to call in, which, like I said, the telephone number is not toll-free. I'm not sure if toll-free is even a thing that exists with the existence of cell phones, especially in the States and even Canada and other places. A lot of times you can get calls in for free. So hopefully that number will be free to you if you decide to call in. Okay, so Crossfire is not cheap, but the problem is that the price that you pay for an exterminator is pretty expensive. So let me tell you about some of the quotes that I have witnessed myself. I had a customer one time who hired me for bedbug work she lived in a single wide trailer. She worked 20 hours a week as a bus driver. That's the only job she had. So basically it's a part-time job. And the exterminator came in and told them that in order for her to treat her single wide trailer, one, she had to pay them to do the treatment. She had to buy mattress encasements, and which were about $100 a piece. She had to put one on every bed in the house, which there were 3 beds in the house that had to be covered. The king size bed cost, I think, $200 for the mattress encasement because it was a king size bed. They had to then, after the job was done a month later, she had to hire them to come out and use a bedbug dog to do a second treatment in the house, where they didn't really treat the house, but they brought a bedbug dog in to prove whether or not they got rid of the bedbugs or not. And then if they did not get rid of the bedbugs, they would charge her an additional cost to come in and treat again. The original price to do the whole house, including the bedbug dog check, was over $3,500. And this is to a woman in a single wide trailer. All right, let's look at the price of Crossfire right now. So if you go to my video and you scroll down on my video, there's a link right here. It will take you to Do My Own Pest Control. The price of a 13-ounce bottle of Crossfire is $40.98 right now. That's for one bottle. That's how much they cost. And you could get 2. You don't have to get 1. You can get 2. Still less than $100. It doesn't come close to $3,500. I mean, that's a lot of money to do a bedbug treatment, and then you may not even be able to get rid of the problem with that bedbug treatment. You may still end up having to come back and retreat again, and that's where you really start racking up the money when you start talking about doing bedbug work. So that's the difference in cost. Now that's one pesticide. But you say, let's see. Other prices. So let me give you a few other prices. So let's go cheap. There are other exterminators that are perfectly happy to come in and do only 1 bedroom in your house, where you can hire them. They'll come in. They'll charge you like $250, $300 to do 1 room. Now that sounds good. It sounds good because when you price it like $3,500, that's really cheap. That's not even half. That's not even quarter of the price of the job that you just got quoted. And so they can come in and do 1 room. If you're only having problems, like let's say in your master bedroom, then you can have them come in. They can treat your room, and your idea is that the bed bugs will be gone. But the problem is that bed bugs spread throughout the home. They spread using your own shoes, for example. In fact, let me see if I can pull up a picture. I want to show you a picture of, I think it's in my iCloud. But if I can get it to work, if it will let me do it. because, you know, let's see. Sign in, allow. This is all this security nowadays. Back in my day, we had the same password for everything and people hacked us and we just made a new account. All right. So let's see if I can bring up this photo. I want to show you guys this photo I took. I think y'all will appreciate it. Let's see here. There we go. So here we go. All right, so what are we looking at here? I actually need to, hold on just a minute. Let me minimize this for a minute and close, I'm gonna close my iCloud. I got a lot of pictures on there I want everybody to see. Let's see here. All right. There we go. Got the wrong scene. So look at this. So this is pretty cool because I can zoom in. Now, this is the headboard of the bed right here. So this is the headboard. This is where the headboard connects to like the part that holds the headboard up. This is like the leg of the headboard that comes all the way up. And this is the back of the headboard. This is all bed bugs. I didn't really pick these up real good because I was really kind of trying to zoom in on this. So this right here is where you leave your plastic. Like some people will leave the plastic on their box spring. And they will... I just took this yesterday. I just did this job today. This is the latest bedbug job that I've done. So you see that down in there? All that has collected inside the piece of plastic that covers the box spring. These are all dead bed bugs that they've killed. Now these are alive. All of these are alive. All these up around the headboard up here are alive. And all this down here. Now all of this, now I don't know if you could see well or not, but all this right here, see this is carpet. This is not. This is bed bugs. So this right here, this little piece right here, this little triangle that kind of juts out away from the wall, that is carpet. The rest of all this is bed bugs. All of this is bed bugs. There's live ones and dead ones. There's casings and eggs and all kinds of nice ones. I mean, and these are absolutely bed bugs all over this headboard. And so I asked the guy, I said, can I take a picture of that? Because I'd love to show my YouTube audience just how bad they can get. This is one of the worst bed bug jobs I've ever done in my entire life. And I've been doing bed bug. I've been killing bed bugs since I was 17. I'm 39. I'll be 40 in a couple months. So this is a pretty severe bed bug infestation. And I just thought I would share it with you guys because I thought you guys would like to see it. But anyway, so this is the bed bugs. And I thought I also have a story for Jennifer that since she voted. How did you vote, if you don't mind me asking, Jennifer, on my poll? If you're still in chat. I don't know if she's still here or not. It won't tell me who's in chat. But anyway, I'll tell a story about my wife, Alicia. So my wife is pregnant. She's 35 and a half weeks pregnant with my fourth child. And he is really he's kicking and the churning and the moving and the shaking and all around in the belly here lately. But he's actually, so my youngest will be 3. His name's Charlie. He'll be 3 on the 15th. That's his birthday. And so he's been coming up with us when we go to the midwife. And usually the oldest 2 will stay at home and usually clean the house, watch TV, play games, whatever. Because, my oldest is 16 and my middle child is, she's 8. And so they like to stay at home. They don't want to drive to the midwife. And so we're sitting at the midwife and the woman comes in, the midwife actually comes in and brings me a baby and sits me a baby on my lap. Says, "Here, Jason, can you hold this baby?" Because she's crying. He's crying in the other room, and I know you don't mind. You like babies. Can you just hold this baby for so and so? And so I was like, sure, I'll hold the baby. I love holding babies. So I was holding the baby, and Charlie turns around and he looks at the baby and he looks at me. And now all he knows is that when we go to the baby's doctor, we're going to have a baby because we're going to a birth center. And he goes, "Oh, that's my baby. That's our baby. Let me hold him. He's so cute." Because he thought that this baby I was holding that actually was a helper to the midwife, or midwife's assistant or whatever. It's her baby. It's not, I was holding the baby, but it's her baby. And he was so insistent on taking that baby home, and he said, "But I named that baby, and that baby's my baby, and I'm taking that baby home, and that is my baby." And I said, "No, Charlie, that is not your baby. If it was that easy, it'd be great. It's not that easy. That's not how that's not how it works. We still have to come here. We still have to have Finley, and we can't, and that's what his name is, by the way, for those that don't know. I named the baby. We named the baby Finley. So he'll be born in a couple weeks, and then maybe I can let you know what he looks like and all that good stuff. I'll try to pull my microphone down because it's not really coming in very well today. There we go. So I hope everybody can hear me tonight. So that's what that's what was all about with the baby. I wanted to share the story because I thought it was funny because 3-year-old, he don't know. He just knows that we're going to the baby's doctor. He don't know how the baby's born or anything like that. He's too little. So, and you tell him that he don't quite grasp it. He don't quite understand. So, but anyway, that's what happened to me last Friday, and then tomorrow we get to go over there again because now that she's over 34 weeks pregnant, we got to go every week. So maybe I'll do some live streams from the birthing room. I doubt it. She ain't gonna let me do that, but maybe. We'll see what happens. Maybe if you follow me on TikTok, maybe I can shoot up a TikTok real quick and get banned over there. I don't care if I get banned on TikTok, but I do care if I get banned on YouTube. I'm not going to do anything to get banned on YouTube because that's where the majority of my audience is, and that's where I help you guys the most is on YouTube. So, which my TikTok's actually down. It's not working right now. I had to turn it off. Let's see. We got a question here actually in on my post from the live stream. Do I apply CF on the flat surface of the mattress? Mine has those circular seams. Okay, do I apply Crossfire on the flat surface of the mattress? Mine has those circular seams, or just the seams of the edges. And can I still use the mattress foam and pad? I need it for comfort after treatment. Okay, so the way that you treat a mattress is you treat the seams. All right, if you see those pillowy spots, those circular seams on top of the bed, they need to be treated too. Bed bugs will live in those. In fact, that bed I just showed you, that picture I just showed chat, am I getting calls? No, I'm not getting calls. But yeah, that picture I showed chat, that is actually a, that bed, when I pulled that bed up off of the bed frame, it was absolutely covered in bed bugs. The bed bugs had laid eggs in every single seam, and it was like the little like the little shapes like this, where it's like a pillow up here, pillow over here, and it was like sewn in diagonals, in the diagonal pattern. This is the most common, sewn pattern for mattresses, but they were living in every single seam of the entire mattress, all over the top, all over the bottom. They were so thick. They were so thick on that mattress. And, I mean, they couldn't afford to throw it away. And a lot of people can't. And so the best thing you can do is treat the mattress and kill as many of them as you can. Probably going to have to go back next month and treat it again. I don't know. It was pretty severely infested from the picture. You could tell it's a pretty severely infested apartment. But anyway, So I went in and I treated the whole bed. I treated the mattress. I treated the top, bottom, underneath, box spring, inside it. I treated the all around every seam. I treated the headboard, footboard, the bed rails. I treated everything. The baseboards behind the bed, all the baseboards all around the room, the crown molding where the the top of like your wall panel board or your sheetrock or whatever meets the ceiling, all the way around the edge of that I had to treat. It's a really in-depth, really thorough treatment that you have to do. And but yeah, that's basically how my afternoon went today. So, but anyway, that was just a question that was I asked through my. I'm actually going through them right now, and I'm looking at what people. So I read all my comments, every comment on every video I've ever had. I read them all. And some of these people, I tell you, some of these people, because now on all of my newer videos, which have been made within the last 3 years, I actually turn off. I have all the comments are allowed, but they aren't posted until I approve them, because I get so many troll comments on my videos that I get a lot of bots. I get a lot of trolls. I get a lot of just aggravation. And so I try to be professional. And I mean, I sit here at, Thursday nights, I'm wearing a t-shirt and a hat, and I'm trying to take it easy and sit back. I've worked all day. I actually have been up before 6 o'clock all week, every day. I've worked so hard this week, and I'm tired, and I'm gonna take it easy. But but anyway, like I was saying, so I go over every single comment, every single thing on my video. I read every one of them, especially if it's within the last 3 years. So let's see. So a lot of people have stink bugs because they're coming out. Anybody know what stink bugs are in chat? How many people have been plagued with those this year? Let's see, there's another one in Illinois that has stink bugs. Because I asked in the video, I'm like, if you have stink bugs, tell me, what state are you living in? I would like to know. So I'm in Canada, where products aren't available, so I have to just accept them as roommates. It sucks. All right, so this is not necessarily true. So I had a video that I did. I talked about it already when I first came in. When I first started the video tonight, and so I just had a post that says I'm in Canada where products aren't available, so I have to just accept them as roommates, and it sucks. So this guy's actually talking about German cockroaches and how to eliminate German cockroaches. So if you go to now this is my Amazon page, but if you go to which all my products I talk about are here, every one of them. I actually went through and updated this list yesterday, and it threw my bed bugs way down at the bottom, which is like right in here, but that's my bed bug supply page. And then I actually have a New York bed bug supply page as well for people who live out of where did it go? Oh, there it is. So bed bugs for New York and Canada, which also include other parts of the world too, not just Canada, but basically other countries. But I have a lot of Canadians that follow me, so that's why I use Canada specifically. But if you go to my channel, and this is the video actually right here. I'm actually going to post this to chat. This is my latest video. This is about how to... So if we go back here, right here, well, let's keep going back then, because that's not, there we go. So if we scroll down and you see this is a video right there. It's how to make repellents work on bed bugs. Walmart spray for bed bugs, can it work? Now this guy, actually the Canadian that left this question, he's talking about cockroaches, but the exact same thing can be used for cockroaches in the same manner. The problem with cockroaches is you need to rotate your pesticides. It's so let's say this was like Harris cockroach spray, like this thumbnail right here. It shows like a picture of the Harris bedbug killer, and it's the aerosol spray and the powder and all that stuff. And I just picked a generic picture off the internet. But let's say you want to do some let's do some research here. Walmart roach spray. All right, so let's do some old school Google. Let's see if Google teaches us how to do this. So let's pull these two pesticides here. This is Ortho Home Defense Max. You can buy this at Walmart. I have seen it on the shelves. I've seen it at Home Depot and Lowe's as well. This is Home Defense. This is one of the most common things I see in people's home every day. All right, let's look at these pictures. So you got the guy, he's got this little sprayer, and he goes around and he sprays. Now, he's just looks like he's peeing in the floor right there, just making a big puddle, a little pool, and he's not doing his job right. This is not how you kill cockroaches. And so I go over in this video over here, this one, I talk about how important it is to treat inside the cracks and the crevices of your home. And this is to kill bed bugs. So this is cheap. I mean, you look at this bottle here. It's $6.68 at Walmart. It's less than $10. Now, this is already pre-mixed. I believe it is bifenthrin. It's bifenthrin. All right. So let's say you want to try to use this on some cockroaches, and you go to Walmart and you buy this $7 spray, and you come in and you're wanting to kill cockroaches. Now, one of the biggest issues with cockroaches is that cockroaches develop a resistance to pesticide really quickly. Bifenthrin's been around for probably 30 years. It's an older synthetic pyrethroid-based pesticide, and it's not necessarily one of my top picks for a roach cleanout. But actually, I actually did a pyrethroid roach cleanout last month. Now, the problem with this is it's going to chase the roaches everywhere because they know what it is. They see it for what it is. They know it's a pesticide, and they try to avoid it. And so if you're wanting to try to get rid of cockroaches and, treat inside the cracks and the crevices all around inside your house, you can't miss a crack. You need to take everything out of your cabinets. You need to take everything out of everywhere. You need to empty kitchen cabinets. You need to pull the stove out. You need to pull the refrigerator. And this is how you do a clean out. I'm going over step by step how to kill cockroaches. And so you pull out all of your appliance and you spray all around behind the refrigerator. So let's say you use this chemical. Now, you bought this at Walmart, okay? Walmart doesn't sell the best anything. All right, that's just the way it is. What was that? Did somebody just super chat me? I think somebody might have just super chatted me. I'm not sure if they did or not. But anyway, I think they followed me. But so anyhow, because if people do super chat me, I want to answer their question right away. So you go and you buy this. Walmart, like I was saying, Walmart doesn't sell good anything. If you wanted, let's say you wanted, furniture. Okay. Would you go to Walmart or would you go to an Amish, outlet? You're going to get furniture that'll last a lot longer from an Amish outlet where they actually take the time it takes to build your furniture correctly than somewhere like Walmart where everything is cheap and it's made from pressboard and you put it together and it falls apart in 6 months. All right. The same thing with pesticides. If you buy pesticides at Walmart that are pre-mixed, one of the biggest issues with Ortho Home Defense is that it is a pre-mixed pesticide that sits on the counter for who knows how long. In fact, if you go into Lowe's or Walmart in the spring, you'll see these big, huge, just these big shelves set up just for pesticides. And this time of year too, because it's the fall and the bugs start coming in the house. And so it's really common to see as soon as you walk in the door, it's like right there, bam, in your face, Ortho Home Defense. Or, some other type of pre-made, pre-mixed pesticide. So the thing is that while these chemicals are not horrible when mixed by you, let's say bifenthrin, all right? One of the pesticides that you can get is called Talstar. Talstar is bifenthrin. It's the same exact pesticide, and you can mix it at whatever percentage you want based on the label. And so what I recommend is people go and they buy it, they mix it themselves in their own gallon sprayer, not this piece of crap thing that they sell you at Walmart, And then you've got bifenthrin mixed in a gallon sprayer, and you can use that. If you're in Canada, one of the problems, Ermin actually posted in chat Alpine or Phantom plus IGR and bait for cockroaches. Okay, that is absolutely the best way to get rid of cockroaches, and I completely agree. The problem is that if you live in Canada, you can't buy Alpine. You can't buy these pesticides. These pesticides are not available to you. If you live in the States, they are. If you live in like in Canada or even parts of Europe, you can't buy Alpine because Alpine is a neonicotinoid. They're not sold out of the country. They're not sold in New York either. So you can't buy these kind of things in New York either. But so the video that I made, which I recommend if you live in Canada or other states, that you can't buy, neonicotinoids, then I recommend you go and watch that video. Let's see, which I posted in chat. I actually posted in chat a minute ago. If you go watch that video and learn, I go over, now it's on bed bugs, it's not on cockroaches, but it's the exact same idea. If you miss a crack, the roaches are going to be in it. Alpine hasn't been around forever. Crossfire hasn't been around forever. A lot of these pesticides are very new in the pesticide industry compared to things like bifenthrin, cypermethrin, permethrin, even synthetic, most of your synthetic pyrethroids, your Durazban, diazinon, chloridane, all these pesticides that, actually chloridane and diazinon, Durazban don't exist anymore in the States. And so you can't buy them here anymore. They've been outlawed. But I've been through all these pesticides. I've used these pesticides for roaches, and they work, but you have to rotate. So you have to constantly change your chemicals. So let's say we use bifenthrin today. In 2 weeks, maybe a month, you want to use a different chemical. And then in 2 or 3 months, in a month, another month, like I say, I said 2-3 months. I meant 2 weeks to a month. You want to use another chemical. And so you constantly rotate out your chemicals. You want to try to rotate between 3 or 4 different products. And that way, and bait is good. Put bait places that you can't spray, like inside the doors of places like the cracks where dishwashers are screwed together, oven doors are screwed together. Places that the roaches are going to hang out, but it's not going to destroy your bait. There's lots of places you can put bait, but the bait will be destroyed because it's just not. You got to think it's food for the roaches. You want the roaches to eat it. You want it to be palatable. You want to put it somewhere where it's going to stay to where the roaches will find it, but it also doesn't get too hot or it doesn't get too cold. So you don't put it inside your fridge. You don't put it inside your oven where you cook. You put it in and around the cracks and the crevices where you can't necessarily spray with a pesticide because, you may contaminate a food source. But if you put a little bit of bait in there, like a little dot, about the size, pea-size amount, the roaches will find it and they'll get into it. They'll eat it. And it actually works really well. In fact, I've got several roach baits that I recommend on my Amazon page. Let's look at that real quick. And I can go over how they work. So, and I'm sorry I'm talking about cockroaches. I see that the chat's flying, but I want to get this over with. And so this is actually the roach bait I use, which is Vendetta Plus. Advion is also really good, but Vendetta Plus is probably the best. And the reason it's so good is because it has Nigard in it as well. So it's got a it's got a, at least I think it's Nigard. It's got an IGR in it. And IGRs, the way they work is IGR is an insect growth regulator, which means some of them work on the reproductive system, some of them work on the genome, some of them work. It's just different ways that they attack, but most of them work on the reproductive system. So the way it works is when an adult comes in and they eat the bait, and then they try to reproduce, which they usually can reproduce. But their babies come out mutated to the point where they can no longer reproduce. And so you stop the life cycle. The whole point of getting rid of roaches is you need to break the life cycle and tear that life cycle apart so that you don't have any more babies, you don't have any more reproductives. You eventually stop the whole pattern of reproduction. And if you can stop that, eventually all the roaches will die. And so Vendetta actually has Nigard. It's actually got an IGR in it. And the roaches like to eat it. When I come back and I look at what I've done, the roaches have eaten all of the bait and left nothing behind. Like they licked the plate clean. They love this stuff. And so that's why I recommend this. I know there's a lot of places on like TikTok and different places where they recommend Advion, and this is not a bad, bait either, but I don't find that they take it as readily as the Vendetta, but I use them both. I actually rotate these two baits. So anyway, let's get to some questions here in the chat. Using Crossfire, is the Crossfire spray cans okay? Since I plan on once a month treatments. First, Crossfire worked great after 2 days, no bites, but want to make certain they're gone. I'm tired of being the bait. Yeah, you are the bait if you're using Crossfire. That's the way Crossfire works. Crossfire is designed to, it's a non-repellent pesticide, so the bed bugs don't see it, and they crawl out to bite you, and when they do, they crawl through the chemical and they die. Alicia says, hello, Jason. I sprayed my apartment with Crossfire 5 weeks ago. I thought I was about to tell you I was free of bed bugs, but no, today I have something that looks like a bite, getting ready to spray again. Oh, I'm sorry, Alicia. Sometimes it does in apartment living. So apartment living is probably the absolute worst to live in either roaches, fleas, and bed bugs. Those are like the three things that are like the worst thing to get in an apartment, because a lot of times they will spread around into other units, and then eventually you'll end up getting them back in your unit. And so it's pretty obnoxious when you live in an apartment, and sometimes it's your neighbors. If your neighbors get bed bugs and they go in and they do a lot of crazy stuff, like I said, spraying all around, using chemicals all willy-nilly, like stuff from Walmart and stuff that drives the bugs crazy, it doesn't really kill them, but it drives them into other rooms and other units in the apartment building. Then you end up with them in your house. And so it's really common to get that happen. Let's see here. And so what I was going to say is Crossfire. So what she said, what she asked, or Mike, I'm sorry, not he, he, I'm guessing it's a he. So let's go here. I want to show you some stuff. So let's go to MGK's website if we could pull it up for Crossfire. Okay, so, new bottle. I haven't gotten one of those yet. But here is Crossfire Bedbug Concentrate. So this is the actual concentrate pesticide. But this is what I recommend people buy. This is what I recommend people use. Now, she asked about a different type of a product. So let's go to products. And let us search for Crossfire. There we go. So she's wanting to use this. So this is Crossfire Aerosol. And I don't recommend this. And the reason I don't recommend this is because, and you can buy this on Amazon. I mean, I've got it. Like, I don't think I have it listed because I think it's crap. I think it's garbage. In fact, if you go to my bedbug control, let's see, bedbug supplies, Crossfire Aerosol isn't there. It's not there. And the reason it's not there is because it doesn't work. Which I did fix my BNG link, by the way. I found one. I think that works. Yeah. Oh, is it sold out now too? That sold out yesterday. I just put that up yesterday. And it's already sold out. Well, I guess everything's selling out nowadays. But anyway, so if you go through here, see, I've got Crossfire, I've got the gallon, and I got the 13-ounce bottle. And this one, actually, we just looked at it over there on the other site. It is running at $39.23 over here. So it's not that much difference between here and Do Your Own Pest Control. And so I've got both listed. Now, the reason I don't recommend aerosol, and I've gone over this a few times before, is because aerosols have inert ingredients that aren't listed on the label. And one of the things that usually is in an aerosol can are things that cause it a propellant, what's considered a propellant. It might be aerosol, it might be a petroleum product, it might be just something to cause it to force it out of the can. It's not necessarily compressed air, okay? Now, if it was air, just air, then it would probably work better than what it does. The problem is that it's not just air. It's other chemicals in order to keep it under pressure so that when you finally buy it off the shelf, because it's pre-mixed in a can, that it still comes out of the can, that it doesn't actually lose compression in the can. And so that's a problem. So aerosols, much like Raid, any kind of aerosol that you could think of right off the top of your head. Most people know Raid. Like Raid, most people know what that stuff is. Raid and Crossfire are, like I said, they have inert ingredients that are not listed on the label that you don't even know are there, but they're there. And these cause problems with pesticide mixing. So when you mix pesticide and you take let's see, this stuff right here, and you take this and you put it inside your tank, it's just Crossfire. It's just clothianidin, metafluthrin, and propionyl butoxide. That's all it is, and water. That's all. You don't have any ingredients other than what's listed on the label. You don't have petroleum distillates. You don't have aerosols. You don't have things that could possibly break down the chemical. And so I find that these actually don't last as long as this. Now, you could still buy this stuff. You could still buy the aerosol. You can still use the aerosol, but you're going to have to use it more often, and you're going to have to buy more of it, and the price is expensive. And so let's look at the price of Crossfire aerosol. All right, $28.89 for one can. That's one can of Crossfire on Amazon. It's the same thing as what I just showed you. All right? That's almost $30. That's almost $30. And the Crossfire in a bottle that you mix is $40. You spend $10 more, you get a whole gallon. You don't just get a little 17-ounce can. You get an entire gallon of solution that's enough to do your entire house, not just one bed. And that's another problem with this, is you're only going to get enough to do a very small area, where this will actually treat an entire house. It's 1,000 square feet, but you're only treating linear footage and certain furniture in the house. It's easily a half a gallon will cover your entire house. So, hi, I'm moving in a family apartment that was vacant for a year, but my relative did have bed bugs before she moved. What can I do to make sure they aren't still there? So you need to treat before you move in. More than likely they are still there. More than likely the bed bugs are there. But what you need to do is you need to move, and you need to get in there. You need to treat first before you move your belongings. And I would actually recommend treating your mattress, box spring, your bed frame, your headboard, footboard, bed rails, all that stuff. Your couch, love seat, lazy boy, any big furniture, bulky furniture, and like pull out sofas and stuff like that. Treat all that stuff and then move in. That way, and of course the apartment too before you move in, or the house or whatever. This way, everything is taken care of. If you move in and there are still active bed bugs on the property, they don't really have anywhere to go except death. Basically they crawl out and they die. If they try to crawl up on the bed, the bed's treated, they die. If they try to crawl up on the sofa when you're watching like your favorite TV in the afternoon, they die. If they try to crawl up in the lazy boy recliner, they die. And so the point is that it's already treated as if it's an active infestation, and it works really, really good doing it that way. I've gone into homes where people were positive that the homes were infested with bed bugs. No one had lived in it in several months. And so I go in before the homeowner, and I treat the whole house, and I treat their furniture and stuff where they're living before. Like typically what I do is I divide it up. So one day I'll treat their apartment where all their furniture is. The next day I treat their house where they're moving to. They move in and they don't have any problems. And I've actually had people call me back and say, yeah, I found dead bed bugs. So, even though it's nothing alive, nothing bit them, everything died. So Alicia says the thing that looks like a bed bug bite is a big red mark, no itching at all. But checking in the internet, it does look like a regular bedbug bite. I am really confused. Anyway, ready to spray again just in case. It may not be bedbugs. It might be something else. We're getting into the fall. Mosquitoes and stuff are getting in again. At least here in Virginia, it's real common mosquito season again, just like in the spring. And so it could be something else that has bitten you. What do you do for a problem springtail infestation after treating multiple times? You just continue to treat. You need to find out where the mold is, where the mildew is, because springtails, they breed off of mildew. They like to eat it. They feed off of it. And so usually if you have springtails, it's because you have a sign of that you have a mildew problem, and so you need to get your mold and mildew taken care of first. Otherwise, it could just be an overwet lawn. Like if you have a sprinkler system, maybe set it back a couple hours so it doesn't come on all the time, and that might help. I have been at people's houses where they didn't have any moisture issues in the house at all, but it was really just the fact that they were overwatering the lawn, because mildew and mold will grow in the lawn, and that attracts springtails. So if you can somehow narrow those things down, the springtails disappear. Honey Hush, did they used to use malathion to kill bedbugs? Malathion has been mostly an agricultural pesticide, not really used indoors as much. It has been a couple times, but they took the indoor label off of it a long time ago. But the thing that they use most for bedbugs before 79 was, or 76, maybe it was 76, I think it was 76, was DDT. And after DDT, they use things like organophosphates, like dursban, diazinon. They used to be labeled for bedbugs, and synthetic pyrethroids. Synthetic pyrethroids actually took the place of DDT. They're much safer than DDT, where DDT will build up in the system. Synthetic pyrethroids typically do not, because they're based on pyrethrins, which are naturally in the environment, and so humans naturally reject those types of chemicals, and so they don't build up in the system over time. It's actually probably the most common thing that I've used in my entire career, are synthetic pyrethroids. And so, but yeah, the malathion really wasn't used for bedbugs. Not really. Used for things like, treating outside for agricultural type pests. We call them bagworms and stuff like that. That's more along the lines of what people use malathion for. Does IGR work for bedbugs? No, they don't. They actually don't work at all for bedbugs. I don't know why exterminators insist on using them. It's actually against label. If you follow the label for Gentrol and you actually mix it to the point where it'll work, and it actually doesn't work, it's 10 times the normal dosage. So if you mix Gentrol times 10 what it says on the label for bedbugs, it still won't kill bedbugs. It doesn't work. It actually doesn't change them at all. And I actually read, if you go back and watch my other live streams, I read the article live on the air showing exactly why it doesn't work. I read the article, the case study on IGRs and their effectiveness against bedbugs, that they don't work. Sprinkle roach bait granules and sticky traps too. See, I don't use sticky traps. They'll go on sticky traps by themselves. You don't have to bait them. So, a little thing about cockroaches is cockroaches eat glue. They like glue. And sticky traps have glue on them. They eat glue. So one of the reasons people used to bring cockroaches into their home in paper bags and cardboard boxes is because those two things are glued together at the seams. Typically they glue the bag down at the bottom and they glue your cardboard box at the bottom and the top. And so it used to be people would bring them in from grocery stores and Chinese restaurants and places like that, because a lot of times in a Chinese restaurant, let's say you order a big takeout meal, they usually put your food in an old cut up cardboard box, and the roaches will live in the corrugations and they eat the glue that holds the box together. So people will take and they will sprinkle roach bait into a sticky trap thinking that'll get them. Roaches will walk into a sticky trap willingly just because it's glue, because they like to eat it, and then they get stuck in there and they die. But yeah, you don't have to bait sticky traps. Roaches will go in them on their own. So, let's see. Sorry, phone ringing. Let's see. I finally made it. What really sucks is that we can't get Crossfire in New York. See, there's one that can't get it. So you might, my latest video might actually help you, Solo War. Does Alpine WSG work well for brown marmoset stick bugs? It does. It does work really good for them. But there is a cypermethrin that that will help. There is I can't remember. There was one. It was a farm store that had it, and it was called Cyper, and it was actually cypermethrin that which is the same active ingredient that's in Demon Max, which I don't know if it's on the label for Demon Max. Let's check and see. I actually have a couple of videos I've already recorded that I can't remember if I've released them yet or not. Let's see. Demon Max pesticide label. Syngenta product. So let's see. Let's go back. Let's go here. See if we can get the safety data sheet. Previous. All right, here is the EPA approved label with Demon Max, which is cypermethrin. Okay. Good chemical. Good chemical. Let's see. Where are the bugs on this? Sometimes they'll have them right at the very top. This is a more difficult label to have to read. So let's see. Termite control. Termites, subterranean termites. Bath trap. This is all termites. Because you can use it to treat termites. I don't recommend it for termites. It's crap for termites. But it does do well on other types of bugs. Let's see, it's got bees, cockroaches, scorpions, spiders, ticks, wasps, wood infesting beetles. You've got ants, aged box elder bugs, carpenter ants, carpenter bees, centipedes, chiggers, cockroaches, crickets, earwigs, elm leaf beetle, fire brats, which are almost identical to silverfish, but they just like hot areas. Fleas, flies, ground beetles, millipedes, mosquitoes. So they do not have stink bugs on the list. It's amazing for them though. But they do have a small bottle of cypermethrin that's I think it's like a 1 ounce bottle, and they sell it that's all it is. It's like a single dose. You put it in a tank and you mix it up, and it's for stink bugs. It kills stink bugs. So I know that cypermethrin kills stink bugs, but that specific label, it's not on it. And so you can't go against the label because that's against the law, but it kills them really well. Let's see. Sorry, I'm trying to keep up with chat. It's really scrolling faster than I can do it. Has paraquat been banned? I keep seeing ads for lawsuits. Not sure. Am I supposed to see diatomaceous earth when I apply it? Or is it a fine mist good enough? You're not supposed to. Don't use diatomaceous earth. Use it outside in the yard. Don't use it in your house. So Tim, you posted your question twice, and twice I'll tell you don't use DE. You'll hurt yourself. It's not good for you. Mike says thank you, and I will continue the 13-ounce bottle. Your advice has worked for me. Honey Hush says I'm thinking back to when they used malathion. I'm getting old. I can't remember what it was used for. Well, malathion is still around. It still exists. It hasn't been outlawed. Even Dursban is still around. It hasn't ceased to exist. Which the active ingredient in Dursban is chlorpyrifos, and the malathion is still around too. So both of those chemicals are still around, but a lot of them are used only in agricultural now. So you can't use them indoors. You can't use them around apartment buildings or residential. You could use them for like yards and stuff like that, but that's pretty much all they're for. It's not for any kind of anything around human beings or pets or family or anything like that. You can't use it inside or outside around your home. But they do still exist. You can still get those chemicals. They're a lot more difficult. I think they've become restricted. I'm not sure if they're restricted or not. Don't shoot the messenger. I really don't know. But I have seen them. They still make them. They still manufacture them. They still sell it in North America. But I honestly don't use them anymore. I haven't used Dursban since the early 2000s. So, and I've never used malathion because, like I said, malathion is mostly for agricultural work, and I don't do agricultural work. I do general pest control, termite control, for homes in and around homes, residents, and commercial buildings. So that's what I do. Let's see. Hi, Jason. How are you? I'm good, Nancy. How are you? How do you know if you killed all the roaches for good? You'll stop seeing roaches. I tell people you need to service 90 days after you see the last cockroach because it can typically German cockroaches usually hatch within 28 days, but there are instances where the egg can actually last longer, and this goes with bedbugs as well. So bedbugs typically hatch within 6 to 10 days. Roaches hatch within 28 days. Sometimes a bedbug egg can actually take 2 or 3 months to hatch. The same with cockroaches. And so this is one of the ways that they survive even a pesticide application. So let's say you treated your house for bedbugs and you don't get bit anymore. And it goes 2 or 3 months and you haven't been bit at all. And then all of a sudden you start getting these bites, these single, triple bites every so often. The bedbugs are back. The possibility of you having an egg in your home, it is possible that one hatched out just recently from a previous infestation. It's possible. Normally, it's not. Normally, most of the time, it's from a new infestation from outside sources, but you can have it up to 90 to 120 days after the treatment. The eggs are still viable and they will still hatch. So, but the majority of them do hatch within 6 to 10 days. It's like a genetic anomaly. It happens. Sometimes you have an egg that just lives longer. The more bed bugs you have concentrated in your house and the more eggs you have concentrated in your house, the more likely this is going to happen to you. And it also makes it harder for those kind of homes to get rid of bed bugs because they've got so many bed bugs in the home that are genetically prone to longer reproductive cycle that it's more difficult for you to get rid of them. You just have to stay at it, and you can do it. It's not impossible. I've gotten rid of bed bugs in homes like this, but you just have to stay with it and constantly treat once a month and just keep on it, and eventually you'll get rid of all of them. They'll all die. You're just really just waiting for all the eggs to hatch. And this is the way it is with cockroaches too. Cockroaches can take, like I said, up to 90 days sometimes for an egg to hatch. And so I always tell the customer, 3 months after you see the last cockroach, cockroaches can only be eliminated on a monthly pest control basis. You cannot eliminate them any less often than that. You've got to do it once a month. And as long as you service the house once a month, I've been able to get rid of them with just one treatment. And every month after, for the 90 days, I never found any more roaches. But it happens. It's rare. But most of the time, it takes several months to get rid of a cockroach infestation. So let's see. Hi. We did one treatment outside in crawl space of Alpine WSG, 30 grams, 1 gallon for Oriental cockroaches, plus Advion and baits. What are your thoughts on this? For Oriental cockroaches, you could use just about anything. Oriental cockroaches aren't really immune to pesticides. They're real easy to get rid of. I don't recommend treating crawl spaces. Oh, here we go. We got a call. Hello, this is Jason with Green Acres Pest Control. Can I help you? I guess not. Or maybe they couldn't hear me. You guys can hear me. Let's see. So for Oriental cockroaches are actually really easy to kill. A lot of people are worried about them, but they're very easy to kill because they live outside. They're from outside. They come in from outside. German cockroaches, if you live in North America, come from other people and come from other places. And when you have cockroaches, the first thing you do is you go out and you try to spray and kill them. And so they get used to pesticides and they get resistant to pesticides. Oriental cockroaches are not like that. Oriental cockroaches actually, because they live outside, because they're seasonal, because they come in based on the temperature changes and things like that, like normal bugs, they die like normal bugs. And so they're not very hard to get rid of at all. You don't have to go to the extreme of using pesticides like Alpine WSG, which is a lot more expensive than some of your other options. And you can get rid of Oriental cockroaches without bait at all. I never use bait for Oriental cockroaches because I find that they just die. And because they're seasonal, they're only going to come in for maybe a month and a half, 2 months, and then they're going to stop. So as long as you treat the house about a month before and a month after. So in Virginia, I start treating for Oriental cockroaches starting in, September. And then I stop treating for the Oriental cockroaches usually around December. But general pest control is going to take care of them anyway. Yeah, if you're treating a house regularly for, spiders, ants, crickets, stuff like that, Oriental cockroaches is just going to die too. They're really easy to kill. Will Harris 5 kill bed bugs like Crossfire does? I have a video that's being released next week about Harris 5-minute kill for bed bugs because it's the same active ingredient as Crossfire, and I go over why it doesn't work as well. So that's for next Tuesday. So stay tuned and follow me and watch that video. But I'll give you guys, because you're my live stream, I'll give you some answers on that. Actually, Crossfire works better. And the reason it works better is because it hasn't been sitting on the shelf for who knows how long. Honestly, this is what you got to think. So if you look at the Crossfire label, it says to mix the pesticide, use within 24 hours. All right, this is what you're supposed to do when you mix Crossfire. All right, so the Harris 5-minute bedbug kill is pre-mixed. So it's pre-mixed. You're buying it from the shelf, and you're buying it right there, like you go to Lowe's or Home Depot. Actually, Home Depot sells it. You can get it at Home Depot. And you buy it, you bring it home. How long did it sit on that shelf? Do you think it sat on that shelf for 24 hours? You think it sat on the shelf for 5 days, 6 days, 7 days, a month? They mixed it at the warehouse, right, where they put all this stuff together. They put all the chemical and everything together at a warehouse. And then they put it on the back of a truck, and then they ship it to the store, and then they put it on the shelf. Eventually the stock boy will get to it, and they'll bring it out, and they'll put it on the shelf. And then you come along and say, oh, maybe a week later, 2 weeks later, I think I'll buy this. I need that for bedbugs. And you buy it, you bring it home. The Crossfire label specifically says once mixed, it needs to be used within 24 hours. And it does lose its potency after 24 hours. It starts to separate from the water after 24 hours, and it's just not as effective. And so I actually go over this. I did a product review for the Harris 5-minute bedbug kill that's coming out Tuesday. So there's your sneak peek for next Tuesday's video. We also ordered Nygaard IGR to mix with Alpine for the next treatment. Also, what product would you recommend to use next for rotating? I don't recommend rotating for Oriental cockroaches. I'm telling you, Oriental cockroaches are really easy to kill. Hardly anything. Everything kills them. Everything kills them. They're really easy to kill. HP Lifestyle. Do you recommend... I don't know what that is. I'm not even going to try to pronounce it. Well, I recommend Crossfire for bedbugs. I didn't see anything on Alpine WSG about wearing a mask for PPE. No, you don't have to wear a mask. I don't recommend wearing a mask. I actually don't recommend wearing masks for, any kind of pesticide application. It's actually dangerous for a pest control technician to wear, especially like a face mask, like these new things that people have been wearing for the last couple of years. It's actually very dangerous for you as a pest control technician to wear these when you're applying pesticides, because we get a lot of splashback, a lot of blowback. We get a lot of dust on them. We get a lot of, if you're spraying above head, like say you're doing a bedbug job and you're treating a crown molding in a room and it drifts down and it gets on your mask and you breathe it in. You don't want to use, you don't need a respirator to apply any of the pesticides that I talk about on my channel. You're not going to breathe it in. People think that when they spray a pesticide that the fumes that come off the pesticide are so deadly toxic it's going to kill you. That's not true. Now you set off a bug bomb in your house, they're very toxic. They can hurt you. They can kill you. Especially if concentrated enough, they can make you very sick. Alpine WSG is not going to make you sick. Crossfire is not going to make you sick. Don't spray it on yourself. Don't breathe it in. Don't drink it. It's not a beverage. You don't want to drink it. But you can apply it in the cracks and crevices. It doesn't create a toxic fume that you're going to breathe in. It's going to hurt you. So you don't need to wear a mask. But I don't actually even advise masking for, I've talked about it. I've talked about how I've used them before to help my customers and to help them feel better or whatever, but about everything that's been going on for the last 2 years. But I actually have changed my stance on that because of, I caught it that I can't say on YouTube. But now my lungs only operate at 70% because I have 30% damage to my lungs. And so I'm walking around, I can't hardly breathe. But I got to reading some research. I started doing research on pesticides and masks, and it's actually dangerous. It's actually not safe. And so I've changed my whole entire view on this whole situation. And so I'm no longer going to require masking in my business. I'm going to actually recommend that the technician not wear them. And if the customer is scared, then they don't need to be in the house for a couple hours after we're there. And that we can go in, we can apply the pesticides. They can come in when they're dry and they're safe. Because my own doctor said, this is what my doctor said. He said, hey, this is what you tell them. Because COVID doesn't, I said the word, doesn't last in the air more than 2 or 3 hours, and then it settles, and it's not going to make anybody sick after that. And so, yeah, I don't recommend wearing masks to apply pesticides ever unless the label specifically states to wear a respirator. Now, that's the difference between a mask and a respirator. A respirator, like I have a P100 respirator, and the reason I have a P100 is because the letter at the beginning actually is how the mask, how the respirator filters particles. And so oil-based chemical, which most chemicals are oil-based, they have a petroleum or something in them, or oil or something in them that carries them. And so if you're going to use a fog, like a bug bomb or something like that, where you need a respirator, these pesticides are oil-based. They're typically, like I said, they've got petroleum in them. And so the P100 is actually for that specific particle, which is an oil-based particle. And so it's then the 100 is how small of a micron it can actually filter out. And so that's why everybody talks about N95 masks, because N95, N is more based for water droplets, and then the I95 is the size particle that it actually filters past the mask. And so I always use a P100 because I'm going to be using my fog machine that actually applies the fog at a specific particle size. And so that's why I use that type of mask. Any recommendation branch 2 study material? Any recommendations on branch 2? I'm not sure what you're getting. I'm not sure what you're asking. So let's see. The DE is food grade. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's food grade. It's still not good for inside application at all. Food grade doesn't. So here's the problem with diatomaceous earth. Is diatomaceous earth has 2 different forms. It has crystalline and amorphous. The amorphous is not going to hurt you, but the crystalline will, and it's impossible to filter out all crystalline DE. It's possible to lessen how much is in it, but it's never possible to get it all out, and so I don't recommend it for pesticide use, especially by someone that doesn't know what they're doing with dust. I mean, if you're here and you're asking me questions on how to use dust, then you don't need to use dust, because dust is something you have to be trained to use properly. And I've been doing dusting for years. I mean, over 30 years I've been dusting houses for bugs, and even I make mistakes, and it comes back and it busts me in the face, and I breathe it in and I hate it, but it happens. And so I don't recommend dusting at all, not for anyone ever, not anyone, unless you've got training. So branch 2 study rule states rules and regulations. Oh, shoot. I've got books on that stuff. I don't know what to recommend, honestly. Let's see. Tall, fine pine. I have these irritating black specks, sometimes gold glittery, that bite my kids, and I have now gotten up in my air ducts. Please, I don't know what those are. I'd like to see pictures of those. If you can send me a picture through my Facebook page, I'd like to see what those look like. In fact, if any of you ever want to send me a picture, feel free to send them to me through my Facebook page. I have a Facebook, Akers Pest Control, if you look me up over there. Let's see. How long do bed bugs live without blood? They have found that the adult bed bug can live for up to 18 months without a blood meal, but typically they die after 10 months. And a baby can live, not a baby, but a nymph can live up to 4 months without a blood meal. So, do you know how to get rid of leeches? James Martin, do you know how much crossfire to use for a queen mattress in a standard 4-door car? It's going to use less than a half gallon, probably. Just Me says, my son has tiny ants in his car. He cleaned it out and sprayed vinegar. Did he do the right thing? I mean, I guess if it worked, it worked. But typically I would use Alpine for something like that. The original cockroach nymphs and a few adults have been coming in lately. This is what started us trying to knock them down. Let's see. Is aerosol crossfire as effective as the liquid mix? No aerosol is effective as liquid mix. No aerosol. Aerosol is just convenient. You're going to spend a lot more for aerosol than you are for a liquid mix. Hello, how long can a bed bug live without feeding on... Oh, I already answered that question. Would you rotate residual chemicals for bed bugs? Sometimes, not really. I used to, but I don't anymore. I've read where some people use Crossfire, then a week or two later use Tempered. See, I don't like to mix chemicals because when you apply a chemical to a surface and then that chemical is active for 30 days, then you come behind yourself and you apply a second chemical to the same surface, it can possibly negate the past pesticides you've used. And so I don't like to do that. I like to just use one, and then in a month when that chemical is no longer effective, maybe use something different. That's what I like to do when I rotate. I don't like to add another chemical to the surface of another chemical because I found that most of the time that just doesn't really work. You might think it does, but it doesn't. Let's see. Do bed bugs become immune to one treatment used like 3 times? No, that's not. I mean, they can. They can. If it's a pyrethroid, they can become pyrethrin resistant. But Crossfire actually has an ingredient in it to keep them from becoming immune to it. Let's see. Nancy Matthews says, do you spray your Crossfire on mattresses before installing a bed? I don't do encasements. I don't recommend encasements. I think encasements are a bad idea. You treat your mattress, don't put an encasement on it. Sleep like a normal person. Pretend like you don't have bed bugs. And treat your mattress, treat your box spring, treat everything, make your bed after everything is dry, and sleep in it that night. Pretend like you don't have them. That's what I recommend people do. So let's see. Well, James actually said that. He said, don't use encasements if you're treating your mattress. Bugs need to crawl on it to die. That is true. If you treat baseboards with Alpine WSG, I know you need to spray away till it dries, or stay away until it dries. But do you have to leave the house? No, you don't have to leave the house. We locked our cats out and stayed out for a few hours last time. Thanks a lot. So I sometimes will recommend that people leave the house for a couple hours if they're concerned. Like I said, until it dries, it usually takes a couple hours for it to dry. But it's not going to harm you if you're in the house. I mean, I go in, I sometimes treat around houses, and people are in there. They're back and forth in and out of rooms, and I tell the customer, you're not supposed to do that, but people still do what they want to do. You can't tell people, yeah, you can't come in your own house. People are still going to do it. And so I give advice. People like to not listen. But the pesticides I use are so safe. Alpine WSG, Crossfire, they're actually really safe pesticides. They're some of the safest pesticides on the market. And pesticides have come a long way. People are really worried about a lot of chemicals. I mean, you should be. You should be careful. But pesticides are not like they used to be. Dursban and diazinon both are linked to things like headaches and migraines and stuff like that. None of the chemicals I use cause any of that stuff to occur at all. And so they're a lot safer. They're a lot, pesticides, like I said, they've just come a really long way in 20, 30 years. And people are still remembering how things were in the past, but they don't realize that those chemicals don't exist anymore. We can't even, not in the U.S. Maybe in other countries, but not in the U.S. So, what do you recommend for inside to get rid of cockroaches? Alpine WSG is the best. It's really good. D. Reeves, sounds like the person was describing fleas. They are usually glittery on your face and body. Hey, I will be right back. I've got to run use bathroom. I'll be right back. You know what I need is when I go into these different scenes like this, I need to have, like, see, I got this one, I got this one, I got up close camera, these different ones. I need one of me like sitting on the toilet over in the corner or something, so I can do AFK using the bathroom. You know, instead of just setting up stream like this, people think I'm setting up my stream like I just came online. I've been online for an hour and a half almost, and it's like I need one of me just kind of like sitting over here on the corner and anyway. So let's see. We all should be nice for kids. Thumbs up. I agree with that. Thumbs up. Thumbs down. Interaction's good. Doesn't matter to me. I actually was looking today. I was going through my YouTube. I was trying to find the thumbs down because I actually like to know how many people thumbs down my video. And in the newer, like the actual studio app, you can't see that anymore. The only way to see it is to go to YouTube and actually pull up the video itself. It's kind of annoying. I kind of like to know if people disagree with me or not. How do you... Because I actually learn from other people. I've actually changed some of my views based on what other people have said. And so I like differing opinions. I actually think it's a good thing to have a differing opinion because it helps... I feel like it helps the community as a whole in the pest control industry grow. And so I actually like when people say, no, you're wrong. What are you, stupid? Because I learn from that. How do you recommend to remove the black spots left from bedbugs? Steam, probably. Maybe some vinegar, maybe peroxide, because it's dried blood. Basically, is what it is. It's bedbug poop, but it consists of dried blood. So you might try some peroxide, see how that works. Let me know, because if you find anything that does clean it off, I like to know because I'd like to tell my customers how to get it off of there. They are bird rodent mites. My dad informed me how to get rid of them. Help. So if you've got bird mites, you could just treat. There are miticides, but I have a video. Let me see if I can find that video. So let me show you how to find it. So if you go to my YouTube channel and you click subscribe, you got to click that button right there. But you don't have to if you don't want to. But you click here and click mites. Type mites like that. And there's bird mites right there. How to get rid of bird mites in 3 easy steps. So let's see. Let's see if I can, click it. And then scroll down. Click share. Copy. Oh, see? Now this shows me. I got 349 people liked the video. 24 people disliked it. Boo. But the point is that it gives me a good kind of like, oh, I see. So there's this many percentages of people that don't think that don't agree with me. And so I actually kind of like that, but I don't like that YouTube took it out of my other programs and stuff I use to edit my videos. So hopefully that'll help you with your bird mites. So let's see. Oh man, y'all have really been active tonight. I can't keep up. Okay, Nancy, crossfire won't be effective if encasement is on. Okay, yeah, he said that. Leon says, I have used Alpine WSG to treat American roaches for about 2 months and they still keep coming. I see them in the bathroom, the kitchen. I even saw a couple in the attic one day. Should I use baits too? Yeah, I would. If it's American cockroaches. Now, American cockroaches like steam, like really hot, humid places. And so usually, and they will build up inside the home. So I probably would use baits for them. Jennifer Lego says, viewers, 33 watching. Have you hit the like button yet? I agree with that. Y'all should just subscribe. Just subscribe and follow me so you can see when I'm online. Because I come online. Sometimes I do surprise streams over the weekend. People have seen me come on and I do this stuff. I also have a TikTok channel where you can go and you can follow me on TikTok. The TikTok, I actually do live over there a lot. I'd like you to follow me over there. And so anyway, I'm on a road to 10,000 right now. I've made I think I got over 4,000 viewers on TikTok now. Or followers. Call them followers over there. Are bug bombs efficient at killing bed bugs? Nope, not even a little bit. They suck. Don't use bug bombs ever for bed bugs. Ever. They never work. That's a waste of your money. Quick question. How do you get rid of maggots in the outside garbage can? I cleaned it out with the hose, bleach, but they keep coming back. I even tie up the bags right. So, all right, it doesn't matter if you seal your bags well or not, because the flies are attracted to the smell of the rotten garbage. And so they will lay their eggs on the outside of the bag, and the maggots will crawl all over the bag. And so you have to treat the inside of your garbage can. They do make fly treatments that you could treat the inside of your garbage can with that will kill the flies when they get in the can. You may want to try to empty your garbage a little sooner. I don't know how often, if it's garbage pickup you're talking about, or if you're going to a county dumpster. But if you're going to a dumpster, you can absolutely just take it before the maggots breed. But if it's city pickup, you probably need to treat the inside of your trash cans. I'll have to make a video about that. I've never made a video about that before, but that would be an interesting thing to talk about flies. So I just made a serious mistake. What should I do to take it off and retreat, or leave it on for now? James says there were little bed bugs in my computer mouse. Oh, that's horrible. I actually watched a TikTok tonight where a guy had bed bugs in a tablet. See, my For You page. All right, let me tell you what my For You page is like on TikTok. For those that I'm just going to talk to you TikTokers, people who use it. So my For You page is full of people that do weird dances, people that talk about bugs, a lot of bug videos for some reason. Who would have thought? And comedians. And that's like my For You page. But some of the comedians are just way out there weird stuff. And I'll send that stuff to my wife, and she's like, what is wrong with you? Is there something wrong with you? Your page is crazy. So yeah, but that's basically my TikTok page of what I see when I scroll through it. Let's see. Where should I order Alpine WSG, and how much for a 2,500 square foot house? You understand you don't spray the whole floor when you're doing general pest control. I don't recommend, like, if you're going to use Alpine for Oriental cockroaches, that's all fine and good. You're spending a lot more money than you need to. The main thing is you need to treat outside. If you've got Oriental cockroaches, do you have mulch? Because that's important. Do you have mulch? Because Oriental cockroaches breed in mulch. And if you have mulch, you need to treat your mulch with granules. You need to go to Walmart. You need to buy you some granules, and you spread them all over the mulch. All right, I recommend getting the imidacloprid granules, it's a Bayer product. That's what I recommend you use on your mulch bed. That will kill the Oriental cockroaches in the mulch. And then you treat around your windows and doors with like Demon Max to try to keep them outside. It's a repellent, so it keeps them outside. Now on the inside, you can use your Alpine on the inside. Treat around your windows and doors, and your underneath in your bathrooms and your kitchens, because roaches are attracted to water, especially Oriental roaches. Oriental roaches are attracted to water. German roaches are attracted to water. And so you want to treat inside and outside any crack and crevice you can. And this will kill your Oriental roaches. You probably only have to do it once. You may have to do it twice, but once a month is how often you want to treat. Go to my Amazon page. My Amazon page is amazon.com/shop/green. I'm typing it out. Green Akers Pest Control LLC. And I am going to copy this, and I'm going to paste it in chat so you know where to get all the products that you need. And this is stuff you can, I keep it updated all the time. In fact, I just updated it yesterday. So, all right, let me see. Where was I? Let me click over here so I can read these, because I've got it way up. You guys have been really keeping me hopping tonight, I tell you. Okay. Thanks. Think you might have to take encasements off. Are the bed bugs active on the mattress? You do need to take encasement off. No, did not see any crawling on it for 24 hours after treatment. So Ramar says, I like and appreciate when you do the longer lives. Well, thank you. I haven't been able to do a lot of live videos. I coughed for 3 weeks straight, and I still have a Buterol inhaler and another inhaler upstairs I need to take tonight that I haven't even taken yet. And so I'm actually doing pretty good. If I can just get to talking and stay talking and just keep my mind on anything other than my lungs, I usually do all right. Last week I had over 2 hours, about 2.5 hour long live stream. And so I'm here. I'm trying my best to give you guys the most that I can, because I know the month of September was really crappy. I didn't make very many videos at all. I didn't do hardly any live streams. I almost didn't come on tonight. I didn't feel the best, but I really, really want to be here. I want to talk to you. I want to help you. So that's why I'm here. So let's see what Honey Hush says. I don't know how I ended up here, but you're very educational. Well, thank you, honey. I appreciate it. I call you honey, like my wife. She's going to get mad at me. I better be careful how I call people honey. Anyway, James Martin says, okay, then take it off. Okay, you're a very nice person. No live ones. Only dead ones. And vacuum the mattress. Okay, finally made it to the bottom. Oh my goodness, I can't believe it. Okay, so both top sides, backside cracks, crevices, seams of the mattress, and box spring thoroughly took me 3 hours. Wow, that was a long time. Yes, please do a video about flies when you get a chance. Oh yeah, I would love to do. I would love to do a fly video. See, people don't know. There's differences in flies. So you have your garbage fly, which is a green color, like a weird kind of green, like a metallic green color. And then you've got your cluster fly, which is a little small black fly. And, you've got mosquitoes, which are also flies. And so there's lots of different flies that can bother you in different ways. And so garbage flies they lay eggs in things like dead animals. They lay them on garbage bags, which is what was asked earlier. And they breed in just rotting, nasty, gross things. And the garbage fly is what you don't want landing on your hamburger at McDonald's. The garbage fly is what you don't want coming into your kitchen and landing on your kitchen counters, because the first thing a fly does when it lands on a surface to eat is it vomits. The vomit starts to dissolve the food, and then they're able to suck it up like a straw and drink it. And then they poop all over your food. And so that's one of the reasons you don't want. And I say poop. I actually read the other day where a guy's like, I can't believe that exterminators are calling it poop and not droppings or defecate. It's like, I got a 3-year-old child. I call it poop. So anyway, the fly lands on your sandwich, throws up on your sandwich, sucks it up through a straw, and then poops on your sandwich. And so a garbage fly, because of the places they land, because of the things that they eat, you really don't want that landing on your food, because they spread disease. These are the flies that spread disease. And then you've got the cluster fly. Now, a cluster fly, the maggot of a cluster fly is actually a parasite to earthworms. So in areas where you're very rural, like Bedford County, where I live, and out into Lynchburg and all around the area, a lot of people live on sometimes 5, 10, 20, even 100, maybe 200 acres of land. And most of it's like old, like orchards and pasture land where the ground is really fertile. And so you have lots of earthworms in the ground. So the cluster flies come and they lay their eggs on the soil because they know that it's really fertile. And so the maggots will actually get into the earthworms and start killing and eating earthworms. But because this is all they're doing, they're just landing on the ground and then flying away again. They're not really interested in your food. They're not interested in garbage. They're not interested in a lot of things like garbage flies are. So they're not spreading disease. Garbage flies spread disease. Cluster flies don't. I get a lot of calls in the fall because the cluster flies start coming in the house because they hibernate through the winter, usually in your wall, like your exterior walls and your attic spaces. And so I get lots of calls because people are like, I've got flies. They're everywhere. There's hundreds of them, but they're not spreading disease. But people think of a fly just like they think of a roach as, ooh, it's going to make me sick. But not all roaches behave that way either. Like you've got the Pennsylvania wood roach, for example, doesn't even lay eggs in the house. It doesn't breed in the house. It breeds outside. It comes in because it's attracted to the light, flies around in the house, crawls on your light bulbs and stuff, really doesn't want to be in your house, would much prefer to be outside. If you pick it up and throw it outside, it won't bother you anymore. And so, but German roaches and Oriental roaches and American roaches, they crawl in some pretty nasty things. And then they come up and they crawl over your food. And so they're disgusting. And so they can cause disease. And this is why, there's differences in bugs. Not all bugs are the same. So what's a sign that bed bugs have been in an apartment for a long time? What did I do with that picture? Did I seriously close that picture? Man, no way did I do that. Let me see something here. Let's see if I can bring this thing up again. Oh, which window is it? I think I closed it. That sucks. Let me see. Let me look at my recents, because they got this thing. Home. Nope. That is not what I want. Let's go to my hard drive. And how do I get to it? Oh, downloads. There it is. And image. There it is. There it is. This is a sign you've had bed bugs for a long time. There you go. Now, I showed this picture earlier because it's a shocking picture. But these are bed bugs. These, all along the curve of this headboard, are bed bugs. This big, huge swath is bed bugs. This, all this, is bed bugs. In fact, they're living around this outlet too. Bed bugs. They're living behind this baseboard. There's one right there on the wall, alive. You know, this is a sign that you've had bed bugs for a really long time. These people have probably had bed bugs going on 5 or 6 years. It's a very serious infestation. So the thing about bed bugs is bed bugs take 6 to 10 days to hatch. They take 6 to 10 days to feed for the first time. They take 6 to 10 days to feed for the second time. They take 6 to 10 days to feed the third time, and the fourth time, and the fifth time. And then they've reached adulthood. They've shed their skin. So this is like 50 to 60 days after the bed bug egg is laid. This is how long it takes. So it's like 2 months. All right, so it's been 2 months. Now the adult can come and bite you and get themselves a blood meal and start laying eggs. Okay? And then it starts to cycle all over again. So then 2 months later, you have this multiplication process going on. And now you've got, maybe 10 or 20, because that other bed bug is still reproducing. That other bed bug is still laying eggs. And so through a period of about 3 to 6 months, you could tell a person that's had bed bugs for 3 months and a person that's had bed bugs for 6 months that the numbers are only going to increase. And you're going to start seeing these massive pools after like a couple of years, because bed bugs are really slow. They're really slow to reproduce. And so it takes them a long time to reach this magnitude. This is a serious magnitude. This is a problem that they've been having for a really, really, really long time. And so, I've been in a lot of bed bug houses, and I've seen a lot. This is a pretty serious problem. This is one that's been going on for a really long time. And so it's basic math. It's just multiplication. And so, typically you can tell if people have had them for a year. You can tell if they've had them for 2 or 3 years just by the sheer volume. Because once they reach a certain point, it's like, well, you just have them more than 3 years. Because at that point, there are just so many of them at 3 years that you can't really tell how long it's been after that. You can't tell it's been 4 years or 5 years or 6 years or whatever. But I'm just assuming just because they were, this is pretty bad. This is really bad. So. Let's see. This is for Jason. That is for Jason. What's for Jason? Let's see. Thank you, Jason. So glad you're back. Hope you continue to heal. Thank you, Victoria. Appreciate it. James, so many bloody pests in the world. Hey, some of the worst ones we've got have 2 legs, there are plenty of pests that I would rather spend time with than some of the 2-legged pests that walk the world. Glad to see you're doing well and healed up. Looks like I'm trying. I'm not completely healed, but I'm trying. Can you find out if our bed bugs were here the day we moved in 2 years and 10 months ago? That's kind of hard to do. Now, that's like I said, it's really difficult. It just depends on how many you've got. Usually you could tell how long someone's had bed bugs based on the amount of droppings on the bed and stuff like that. But almost 3 years, that's really kind of hard to figure out at that point. Honey Hush, I never knew so much about bed bugs. How long do people usually have them before they see them? Anywhere from, you could find them right away as soon as you come home from wherever it is you got them. But typically it's between 3 to 6 months is when people notice them. Our apartment manager says that never had an issue in this complex. It's been over 30 or more years in Pasadena, Texas. Yeah, it doesn't mean anything. They're not going to tell you they've had bed bugs. They don't want to admit they've had bed bugs. Burn that house down, John. I was wondering where you been hiding, John. I knew you always show up. You've been lurking in the shadows today, John Torres. You usually always out here talking. Okay, so Finch says, man, that's crazy infestation. How could someone live with that? Well, so the problem is that they couldn't afford to live anywhere else, and the landlord wouldn't take care of the problem, and they couldn't afford to pay anybody to come in and kill them because they're really dirt poor. And people just can't afford an exterminator, and that's where people like me come in and kill them, because the guys can't afford it. They can't afford it. If you had met them, you would have known. There's no way they could afford to kill them. And even though it's bed bugs, they're eating them every day, it's still better than living out on the street, and that's why. So, Nancy Matthews says, Oakwood Village Apartments, I don't believe that no one has ever had this issue on this complex. Ever think they're lying? I believe it. I believe they're lying. How did the bed bugs not eat the people up? Oh, they were eating them up. They were. Jason, did you take that picture of the bed bug house? Yes, I did. Wouldn't the person get sick from that many bed bugs? They weren't sick. They were healthy. But they were kind of healthy, but I think they were, sick from things other than bed bugs. If you did, how long did you take? 45 minutes. Took me 45 minutes to do that whole house. But that's the only room. So, like, this apartment, it's a 2-bedroom apartment, and the second bedroom didn't have a bed because they were only living in this one room. And then the other room, the living room in the apartment, had a couch and a love seat, which I treated. They didn't even have bed bugs in the couch and love seat at all. This was all isolated to one room, and that's a queen-size bed. And it's the only room in the whole house that had this kind of infestation. There were some crawling around because of how severe they were. They were starting to branch out and go into other rooms. But to this magnitude, they weren't like this in the rest of the house. So this is the only room I had to actually do a massive, massive treatment to. And so it only took me about 45 minutes to do the house. It wasn't. Me and my son Rory. I don't do these on my own. I take my son with me and we work together because I put my back out doing bed bugs several years ago, and so we do it together as a team. And I actually recommend, if you're going to do bed bug work like I do with Crossfire and stuff like that, I recommend you have somebody come in and actually help, because it is a big job. It's a big job. It's a lot to do, and it's a lot of work, and it's a lot of heavy lifting, and it really does help to have another person there. No matter how strong you think you are, it makes the job go faster. It gives you somebody to talk to. And then when you leave and you're leaving out and you're driving down the road in your truck, you'd be like, man, can you believe that? That was horrible. That was awful. Oh my God, it was awful. Gives you somebody to talk to. So anyway, man, what is this? What is this guy done here? Glenn Bennett. Really appreciate you sharing your knowledge. So glad you're recovering from the sea. I'm going to start calling it the sea. What was the name of the granules for oriental roaches? No granules listed on your Amazon cockroach page. Oh, yes, because the Amazon cockroach page is built for German cockroaches, because that's what I get called for mostly. But let's see what the granules were. Bifin granules are what I recommend. Let's see if I can link it to you. Well, that's not working. Excuse me. See, I can edit those coughs out when you watch my regular videos. So let's just use this. Let's just Delta Guard. I'd probably recommend Bifin. Bifin's probably fine. So let's copy this, and I'll send that. There we go. Those are the granules right there, Glenn. But thank you for the $10. You don't have to do that. I'm perfectly happy. I would get to your question eventually. I'm just really backlogged because everybody's here and everybody's asking all these questions, and I'm trying to keep up. See, his problem is I get to talking and running on and just blabbing at the mouth about different bugs and stuff, and then 15 questions come in while I'm talking, and so then I got to go through and answer all the questions. Of course, every one of those questions I got to take 15 minutes to ask, and then that just piles in deeper and deeper. And so without my wife down here sitting, well, she's 35 weeks pregnant, 35 and a half weeks pregnant, actually, and she can't sit here and help me either. So I'm trying. Let's see. I've seen with my mom's, there was one colony like maybe the size of a palm diameter. If you looked around the bed, you could see that there were fecal stains. Let's see. Did you ever get poison ivy on you while working? I've never gotten poison ivy on myself while working, but I am allergic to poison ivy. I've had it plenty of times. Let's see. Yes, hoping you're doing well. Nancy Matthews, she noticed maybe in January bites, still not sure. Then more recently, like May or June, she was getting bit and noticed more when the apartment changed their roof. How did you get rid of the carpet beetles? Was somebody talking about carpet beetles? Carpet beetles are easy. So the way you get rid of carpet beetles is just general pest control. So if the pesticide is labeled for beetles, it's going to kill carpet beetles. They're easy to kill. You just treat general pest control. I've got a video on general pest control. If you go to my YouTube channel, let's see if I can share it with you here. And you just search general pest, and then there it is. There's the video right there. It's the very first one. If you live in a and let's share and copy, and this kills beetles. I mean, just about any bug, honestly. This is all you need. This is the video you want to watch, Glenn. For the elimination of Oriental cockroaches is my general pest control video, because that's the one where I actually talk about how to get rid of other bugs other than things like bed bugs and Oriental general. Well, now I got a call, so that's fine. Hello, this is Jason with Green Acres Pest Control. Can I help you? Saved by the bell. I was tongue-tied there for a minute.
No, I didn't hear exactly what you said, Jason.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. What was your question?
I have a question. I know it's going to sound crazy, man, but I've talked to several people. I have some type of insect, a mite, something, and I have tried everything I know. Originally I thought it was scabies because of the initial way it was. Like I picked them up, some rats brought them into my house, and I killed the rats like a poison. And when the rats died, they came off the rats, and I didn't realize it for 2 or 3 months. I went to the hospital and told them my situation. They didn't do anything. They just gave me the permethrin cream, and it did not work because these things, like they're not scabies because they will crawl off of you, and they have infested like the entire upstairs, like studio apartment. Like I sprayed pesticides and the things like attacked me. I don't know what they are. I've contacted the CDC, I contacted the Scabies Association, and they thought I was crazy on drugs.
Can you see them? Can you see them?
No, not to begin with, but if a lot of them all come out, they come out in little black specks. Mm-hmm. And when you like smash the black speck or you catch it on tape or something like that, then you can see it's really like hundreds or thousands of the little things.
It sounds like bird mites.
It sounds like bird mites.
Yeah. Do you live in an apartment or a house?
Bird mites. I live in an apartment above a wood shop. But now the bird mites, do they mutate? Do they become something bigger later on?
No, so they're like little specks. They're like teeny, tiny little specks. You can hardly see them. In fact,
little black specks.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. They're really small, and they're like chiggers.
But they live inside you also, like scabies.
They're like, well, they're kind of what they do is they don't live on you, But what they do is they come from birds. So what'll happen is buildings that have problems with things like pigeons, people that raise chickens near the house, people that get like just birds roosting on the house, like a nest outside. Like if it's a nest of robins or cardinals or something like that, just living on the building. The bird mites, what'll happen is the birds only live on the building for a short time. They raise their babies, they hatch the eggs fly away, and then they're gone. And so they don't need the nest anymore. So they'll abandon the nest. And then these bird mites, which are parasites to birds, come in the house thinking that you can be something they can breed off of, which they can't. But if it's pigeon mites, they can actually live. No, they don't. They can't breed off of you, but they will starve in 9 months. So in 9 months, you can be eaten up by these things in your house. And actually, poultry mites, which are what come on chickens, can live in your house for over a year. And they're just eating you up, and they're driving you absolutely crazy because there's nothing you can do to kill them. And the only thing you could do is treat your house and just continue to treat your house. And if you have to, you could go every other week, because I usually recommend this, but you could buy miticides. I think I've got one listed on my Amazon page. I'm not sure.
I've tried Cypher, I've tried Demon, I've tried
Demon and
10%.
Cyprin won't, because they're cypermethrin. So they're synthetic pyrethroids. They won't work. And so bird mites, the suspend. So suspend, not suspend polyzone, but suspend SC is actually labeled for mites, and you can use that, and it will kill the mites.
The SC, actually, they no longer make the SC, because I've already went on your, I went through your website and looked. They don't make it. Amazon doesn't even carry the SC anymore.
Well, so
they actually carry an XP or something like that.
Well, suspend polyzone is what everybody uses now, and that's what everybody's kind of moved towards. But the suspend, let's see, suspend SC is it deltamethrin? So it's deltamethrin. So if you could do a search, so if you could do a search like deltamethrin, and you can find that. There it is right there. Do My Own, suspend SC. So do My Own has it for $35, and that's what I recommend. And that's because mites are on the label. And it's very hard to find a general use pesticide. See, it kills over 50 kinds of insects, including like ants, cockroaches, scorpions, and bedbugs. But it also kills things like mites. And so, because I'm trying to advise people on what to buy based on the label, I have to, I have to read the label, and I have to use a label. But most of my general pest control customers that I'm going in and I'm doing, the Alpine WSG will kill them. I have found that it kills them. They're not on the label. But I do general pest control for all my customers, which covers lots of bugs. And if mites die, they die. I'm not spraying for mites. I'm spraying for things like ants or cockroaches, but the mites die. And so there are other chemicals that will kill them, even though the mite is not on the label, if you understand what I'm saying.
Tell me this. Do they usually, I have a bunch of baby and mid-sized rain frogs that are just sucked dried right after. They usually attract, I will grab these rain frogs and the mites will be all over them, and I will wash the rain frogs off and release them, and the rain frogs will come right back to them, like the mites are actually attracting the rain frogs to eat them. I've never seen anything like it in my life.
There are other mites that you could be getting that aren't bird mites. So if you've got, what was the animal? Can you spell it for me? Because it's your voice is kind of mumbled.
I'm sorry, a rain frog, like a small green. I live in Florida.
Oh, a frog.
So we call them a frog, right? The little ones that come out in the rain. We
I always call them tree frogs. But they
tree frogs, right?
Yeah, but they will get. Yeah, they actually will get a mite. There is a mite that's attracted to them, and so you can. So if you've ever heard, I used to do a lot of exotic. I had an exotic pet store I used to service. And they would get mites in the frog cages. They would get them in the frogs and the snakes and the lizards and the reptiles and amphibians both would get these mites in the cages. And if you didn't treat around outside their aquariums and stuff, the mites would crawl in and they would actually infest the animals, and they would cause them to get sick. And so
Yeah.
you had to treat those areas. So it's a possibility. Now I don't know a lot about those because this is more of a this is getting into a further like into exotic pets and things like that. But I would try calling an
Right.
exotic pet store and just ask and see if they have problems with these
Okay.
mites getting in because they might be able to help you better than
Because
me.
they're infesting me and my fiance. Like they're eating us alive. Like they literally have. That's why we thought it was scabies because they burrow inside of us and like they they act like scabies, like they live in us. But then if we like wash them, if we shower, wash them off, they will like go make a uh, I don't know what to call it, a nest, a colony, like in part of the house, and then breed and like and come back and attack. Like
Yeah,
that's they
it's
just like
I
in
don't think
like
that's something I'm not sure what it is, honestly. I mean, I'm not going to BS you,
okay.
but I'm not actually sure. That's why I said I think it might be something that's attracted to the frogs that can also breed off of you. And you may want to go ahead
Okay.
and call. I would call an exotic pet store. A lot of people don't think about that, but that's
Okay.
something that like people with snakes and people with other types of pets that you don't that you
Right.
know that aren't normal pets. It's not a cat and a dog is what most people
Right.
think of as a pet, or
Right.
maybe a hamster or a gerbil. But the fact that it's an exotic pet,
Okay.
I would call and see and try with your pet store and just see what you find because
Okay.
I don't know
Mhm.
everything about every bug, and it's if it's not something common that I
Right.
deal with regularly, it's hard for me to answer the question. I'm sorry.
But I'm sorry. No, I figured many people that called into you. Like the only thing I've searched the web. I've called the CDC. They said they don't handle that. I called the Scabies Foundation. They said scabies don't live off of you more than
Well, if
15
you can
days.
get a sample size large enough, you can put them in an
I,
envelope and send them to the entomology department of Virginia Tech, and they would love to find out what they are, and they'll do it for free.
I, Virginia Tech.
Yep. You send them to the entomology
Awesome.
department, Denny Miller at Virginia Tech, and they'll look at it. They'll tell you what they are.
I even thought it was Morgellons, man, because it's different stuff. Like they mutate, and it's crazy. So I don't know. So they one person thought I was on drugs. Like, you on drugs, man? I said no, but you can see the holes in my face. Where they tell me 8 holes in my face.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I think it's above my pay grade. It's not something that I'm really familiar with.
Okay, yeah, I've tried. I've spent hundreds of dollars in pesticides, and
Right.
I had a insect. It's a pest control place down here, and they don't know what in the world. All right.
Well,
Well, I
good
sure
luck.
appreciate it, man.
No problem. Bye. So let's see what questions that we've got now. So I'm at the bottom of the list. I'm going to go ahead and start reading these. If you had a question that came in during that call, please ask it again. I was way up in the list, and I don't want to get too far behind myself. So you think crossfire will kill carpet beetles? Oh yeah, crossfire kills everything. This guy on the sounds like my problem. Would bird mites live in my hair? No, lice will. I have lice on my Amazon page, but no, bird mites won't live in your hair. Bird mites won't live on you. They won't actually live on you at all. They can't. They live near birds. So, so Nancy says yes, they're biting us between 2 and 4 a.m. Mainly, they come out. I didn't know you see them daily. Okay, you don't always see bed bugs daily. Sometimes it's once every 3 or 4 days that you see them. So let's see. Joff Finch says for some mites, lucid and the not generic version comes to mind. I forget. Reminds me, citrus farmers use it. Honey Hush says, Nancy, may I ask how long have you had them? Joff Finch says, Agramec is the name brand. Had to look online to find. Yeah, the miticides, if it's a miticide, I'm not really familiar with miticides. I don't really use them a lot. There's some, like I said, the pesticides that I use, because mites are so small, a lot of them just kill the mites. And even though the mites aren't on the label, because I'm treating for things like spiders and ants and crickets and other types of bugs, the mites just die because there's not much to a mite. They're super tiny, and that they die along with, whatever else I'm trying to target. And so I don't really purchase miticides specifically. I just, I go after, ants and crickets, and the mites die. So, but so the pesticides that I use on a daily basis are Alpine WSG, Crossfire. In fact, I've got a bedbug job I need to line up for Crossfire. but I've got Alpine. Crossfire is only for bed bugs, but Alpine's for lots of different bugs. And I use Alpine inside, and I use the Crossfire, of course, inside. It's inside only. And then I use Demon Max, Talstar outside, and I use Alpine D-Dust for my bees, things like, hornets, wasps. Not wasps, really, because I could just spray them. But the hornets, like going in the ground, like yellow jackets, European hornets, ball-faced hornets, all those, I typically use a dust. I have an extension pole. In fact, I have a video on my, I can kind of show it to you. Let's see if I can go to my TikTok page. It's tiktok.com. Oops. tiktok.com /@Green Akers PC. Does that work? It did work. Check it out. Show it to you. Let me see. There you go. So this is my TikTok page. I got like this is my, let's see, where did bed bugs come from? And this is just weird things. Pretending that roach is, that I'm not looking at that roach. Me at a customer's house pretending I don't see the roach crawling on the wall, and there's a roach looking at me. So funny stuff like that. But let me see. What I got confused now. What was I asking about? Carpet beetles will not live in your hair. They will live off of human hair. They will eat human hair, but they don't live in your hair. I see now. I can't remember. I'm tired. It's late. I've been on here for over 2 hours, and I'm going to go ahead and turn off the phones because I'm going to ask the last few questions, and then I'm going to head on to bed, honestly. And so let's see what we got here. Actually, I wanted to make a phone call real quick before it gets too late. So let's see. Carpet beetle mites will live in human hair. No, they won't. They are non-caring. Suffer for this decision. Yeah, I hate landlords. John Torres says, you're looking for a duster on a stick. Oh, yeah, that's what it is. You got it. That's what I did. I use a duster on a stick. And actually, that's what I wanted. Thank you, John. So if you go down here, and this video right here. So this video, I've got to mute my desktop sound because I think I use a sound here that I'm not allowed to play. So you see this? This is my duster. Now, that's a nest of European hornets. In fact, right there, you can see like a very shadowy, faint picture of one. But this is the duster. So what I have done is I have fashioned my GoPro to my duster. So you can see me dusting this. Now, this is like 14 feet off the ground. I couldn't reach this without a ladder. But because I have a duster on a stick with an extension pole and a cord to pull the duster, I'm able to film this. European hornets are a type of bill hornet. See them flying out of the tree? That was a good one. Let me go back and see if I can catch him. See, that's a good squirt right in the tree. Right in the nest. Oops. See, there's one. There's a hornet right there. One fell out. But this one treatment killed the whole nest. They all died within a day. And so that's the way I got them. And in fact, I had a guy comment on this video, which you can't see the comments unless I log in. But someone actually commented on this video, so let me let you watch the whole thing. So, see, I shove it right up in the nest. You see that it's kind of hard because the GoPro wants to hit the side of the tree. But see how high up off the ground it is? Now, my pole is all the way over here. And some guy actually commented and said, why are you running from them? Don't you wear a bee suit? This was like 14 feet off the ground. I wasn't afraid. And so, but that's a pretty cool, I like that video. But that's how I go after bees. But back in the day, man, I used to have to just lean a ladder up against a tree and go at it with my bare hands and be a wimp. And I mean, be brave. Now I'm a wimp. I use a stick. So, but that's the video, John. That's the video. I love that video. That's like, and it got rid of them in just one treatment. One treatment's all it took. But for those that don't realize, so I'm gonna give you a little pointer here before I leave. European hornets. Okay. European hornets are very, very large hornets. They're about, about that big inside. Let's see if I can give you, this is a thing of super glue. All right, that's a bottle of super glue. If I wanted to tell you the size of a European hornet, it's about from that tip, that red tip, all the way to my index finger right here. This is how big they are from this red tip all the way back. That's about how big a European hornet is. They're really large, really, really big. People call them bell hornets. Okay, if you're having a problem with bell hornets out in your yard on a tree, okay, check and make sure they're not living in the tree. But if it's an oak tree, bell hornets actually like to eat the sap that comes out of an oak tree. Your trees, when preparing for the winter, will actually pull all their sap down the trunk, from the limbs down the trunk into the root system, in order to keep the tree alive through the wintertime. And so when it does that, a lot of the sap will actually leak out from the tree around the roots, where the roots go in the ground. And if you see these bell hornets all around the roots of your oak tree, they'll kind of sit there, and if you watch them, they actually will eat the sap. They're drinking the sap that comes out of the tree. And so just because you see these hornets, it doesn't mean that the nest is in the tree. It may not be a nest at all. It may just be hornets landing on a tree eating it. Like, yellow jackets will land sometimes on boxwoods and go after the flowers and stuff like that. That's a normal thing. That's actually really common for bees to do, is eat parts of plants. And so don't freak out if you're mowing your grass and a European hornet flies up off of an oak tree and just flies up and goes off in the distance, because they're really not going to hurt you. They're really there feeding on the tree. So it's really common right now to find those things. And if you do see them, like out around your lights or your lamp posts or something like that, like this time of year when it's starting to get dark early, look around your property and just make sure you don't have any hollow trees. Like that tree's hollow, and you can see where they had gone in and built their hive inside the tree. Those are the places you want to look for European hornets. And so if you dust them like that, you'll kill them. And John Finch says, that Alpine D is awesome. Used on my sister's place for yellow jackets and worked awesome like the others when I asked you. Appreciate that. Not for everyone, though. Being a chemist, if you have the skills, homebrew Alpine D can be made with Alpine WSG and diatomaceous. I made a spreadsheet for me others if needed. Yeah, but D-Dust is cheap. It's actually really cheap. It's cheaper than Alpine WSG. Show us how you're squeezing the duster on a stick. Okay, so that's hard to do. That's actually hard to do. Let me see. Hand bellows duster. See, it's a special device. It's a yellow device that I found on Amazon. My wife sent it to me. I can't remember what it's called. I'll look it up. I'll try to get a picture of it and post it on the community forum on YouTube. So I'll post a picture of it, show you how I use it. But anyway, Alicia says, good night, Jason. Thank you for your help. Good night, Alicia. You have a good night. I'll tell Alicia you said hi. Y'all always say hi to each other. But anyway, the way it works is your hand bellows duster, you squeeze like this. And so what it does is the duster fits into a little slot. And so when you pull the string, it pulls that down, which squeezes the duster. So that's how it works. But I am actually going to get out of here. I'm going to get to bed. Y'all have a great night. I appreciate everybody showing up and all the nice things you said and all. But I've been on here a long time and I got to get to bed. So y'all have a good one. We'll talk to you.